Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Whenever I think of ISKCON of Round Rock since the last visit, Indra Neelamani Manjula Varna goes on in my heart. Sundaro Jayati Kunja Vihari. Shishi Radha Kunja Vihari ki. So from Radha Kunja Vihari, this time we are having a change in topic, and this is based on the 52nd chapter of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the 7 celebrated exalted prayers in the letter of love written by Rukmini to Krishna. My Guru Maharaj spent about 7 days explaining this topic. Whatever I have heard from my Guru Maharaj and read in the commentaries of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, Srila Sanatan Goswami, Srila Sridhar Swami, and Srila Jiva Goswami is what I will try to present in this presentation. We are having about 5 classes of 60 to 75 minutes each. So we won't have the time to go through the intricacies of the whole pastime as far as the story is concerned. But the aim of this series is, by the time we leave, we should have the 7 prayers of Rukmini memorized. Last time it was just singing the 8 verses of the Kunj Vihari Ashtakam, but this time we want to memorize. So we will sing the prayers, but tonight we will start off with, we have all 7 of them here? Okay. So tonight we will sing the first 2 just to give us the feel of how it is. And then the homework would be devotees can try memorizing at least the first one by tomorrow, and then we will chant the rest for the next 3 days. So let's chant. This starts from Canto 10, Chapter 52, takes 37 onwards. There are 7 verses. So of course I have the Srimad Bhagavatam here, and for the rest of us it's displayed on the screen. Again, 10, 52, 37 onwards, 7 verses. Okay. Shri Rukminyuvacha Shrutva gunan bhuvana sundara shrunvatam te Nirvishya karna vivarai haratongatapam Rupam drusham drushimatam akhilarthalabham Tvayachyuta vishati chittamapatrapam me Katva mukunda mahate kulashila rupa Vidyavayo dravinadham bhiratmatulyam Dhirapatim kulavati navrinita kanya Kalendra simha naraloka manobhiramam Srila Bilva Mangala Thakur, a very exalted saint, who wrote the very famous Govinda Damodara Stotram, whose compositions of the Krishna Karanamrit attracted the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he was feeling pangs of separation from Krishna. That same Bilva Mangala Thakur, who lived in the dust of Vrindavan, in one of the verses he says, "O my Lord, may some droplets of mercy fall on my tongue. May they spill on my tongue, so that this worthless tongue will become qualified to glorify your worthy qualities. It's so fascinating. Krishna is so unlimited. All our acharyas in different texts, they have mentioned the same thing. Srila Rupa Goswami has written a whole section in Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu on how unlimited and insurmountable the ocean of Krishna's divine qualities are. In fact, in Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, also quoted in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, it is mentioned, Krida Kallola Varidhi, that Krishna is like an ocean, Karuna Sindhu, right? The word Sindhu means an ocean, and Karuna or Kripa means mercy. Krishna is like an ocean of mercy, and the unending waves that exist in that ocean are his transcendental qualities. Recently, I was in Florida for about 3 days, and I was on the shore of the ocean. And when I looked at the ocean so closely, I saw it's inconceivable. I can't count how many waves are crashing by the shore. And I remembered Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami repeating the words of Rupa Goswami from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that if Krishna is compared to the ocean, Krida Kallola Varidhi, then Krishna's names, forms, qualities and pastimes are like the crashing waves, which are unending. You have one wave, then there's another wave, and there's another wave, and there's another wave, and sometimes a higher tide. It's unbelievable. In this regard, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has composed a verse, and I would like to read that. Can we have a call and response for it? It's describing how beautiful Krishna's qualities are. Please everyone chant. Kavibhir Anavagahyam Tam Mahadbi Varako Api Aham Ajita Gunabdhim Jivhaya Ledhum Ihe Yadapi Phalam Abhedyam Langaliyam Supakvam Sprishati Tadapi Chanchva Tanmuhu Labdhakiraha. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad is writing, Mahadbihi Kavibihi Anavagahyam Tam Varako Api Aham Ajita Gunabdhim Jivhaya Ledumihe. He is saying, oh my Lord, oh dear Ajita, oh Krishna, you are inconceivably exalted. And who am I? Varaka. I am inconceivably fallen. Kaviraj Goswami Pad is writing. Hridhi yasya prernaya pravartitoham varaka rupopi tasya harehe padakamalam vande chaitanya devasya. Rup Goswami also starts Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu with this contrast. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you are so exalted and I am so fallen. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad is saying, my dear Lord, you are so exalted and the ocean of your transcendental qualities are insurmountable. Who is that poet? Who is that Vaishnav? Who is that Acharya who has ever succeeded in successfully describing your qualities? He's asking a rhetorical question, which means nobody has. Mahadbihi kavibihi. Neither have the 4 Kumaras, nor have the Nava Yogendras, nor have the 12 Mahajans, nor have the pure Vaishnavas been able to completely describe Krishna's qualities. Kaviraj Goswami Pad is saying, but look how I am. I have become shameless. I know I can't describe, but what to do, my Lord? I have become so shameless and greedy. I know I can't, but I still will. And he gives an example. He says, my Lord, you are like a coconut. Why coconut? He says, outside Vrindavan, you are like a hard shell, always defeating and killing and destroying armies. But inside Vrindavan, you are like the coconut water full of rasa. You see the coconut? It's very hard on the external. It has a hard covering. But inside, the pulp is very sweet and the water is very sweet. Everyone breaks the shell to get the inner part of it. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Pad says, "Oh Krishna, you are like a coconut." You are like a coconut. Outside you have a very hard shell. Outside Vrindavan you are the Dwarkadish, you are the king with an armor. Instead of having Vanamala of Vrindavan, you're having an armor. Instead of having flute tucked to your waist, you have a sword tucked to your waist. Instead of having very nice peacock feathers, you have a crown. Instead of having cows, you're having the horses and the elephants. Instead of running barefoot, now you're on a chariot. So that's like the hard shell of a coconut. But in Vrindavan, my Lord, you are like the inner pulp of the coconut and the inner juice of the coconut. You're very rasik, you're very sweet, rasaraj. But who am I? Kaviraj Goswami now continues the example. He says, I am a parrot. Now, can the parrot with its beak ever break the shell of a coconut? Is it possible? So Kaviraj Goswami Pad saying, "Oh Krishna, I trying to describe your transcendental qualities is like a parrot trying to crack the shell of a coconut with his beak. It's impossible. But what to do, my Lord? I have a red beak. Lubdha kiraha." In Sanskrit, the word redness, the color red, is called rag. And rag also means attachment or greed or love. So he says, if you are a green coconut, then I am a green parrot. And I know my beak, which is my tongue, is so small, it can't break the shell of describing all your good qualities. I know I can't. But what to do? My beak is red. It's red in the sense, I am very greedy. And I know I can't. But still, with the tongue-like beak of mine, with the parrot-like personality of mine, I will continue to peck the coconut of your qualities for all times to come. And in this way, I will live in the tree of poetry. Poetry. Sprushati tadapi chanchva. Chanchva means with my beak. Hindi mein jisko choch kehte hain. Yadapi phalam abhedyam. I know this phalam, this fruit, this coconut, abhedya, it can be cracked. Still, what to do, my Lord? Muhuhu, again and again, the greedy beak of this parrot continues to peck on the coconut of your qualities. You're unbelievably sweet, my Lord. I will continue. The sparrow of my tongue will continue to flap its wings in the sky of your glory. So it's quite fascinating. Rukmini Devi, in text 37 and 38, the first two verses of her prayers, she's telling Krishna, "Oh Krishna, you are unbelievably qualified. You're inconceivably exalted. And I, as Rukmini, I will never be able to get you. It's not possible. But who stops someone from being greedy? Nobody. If we can be greedy for wealth, why not for Krishna?" It is said in the Padyavali, the writings of Rupa Goswami, "Vicheyani vicharyani vichintyani punapuna kripanasya dhananiva tvannamani bhavantu me." There's two types of greed. One is the greed for money, which binds us in this world. And the other is the greed for Krishna, which frees us from this world. So beautiful. Who stops us from being greedy? There's a saying that the beggar which cries the loudest gets his alms. Let's say if we are all beggars of Krishna's mercy, the one who cries the loudest will get Krishna's attention. The begging bowl is our sadhana. There are three things needed. We must feel as a beggar, like Rukmini is feeling here. She's feeling completely destitute. So we should feel like a beggar in our heart. Dinera adhika daya kare Bhagavan, pandita kulina dhani bada abhiman. When someone is proud of their learning, of their aristocracy, of their beauty, of their intellect, then they don't feel like a beggar. When we feel, oh, I absolutely have no good qualities, that's the first thing. The feeling of a beggar. The second, you need a pot to beg, a bowl. And that's the sadhana. And the third is we have to cry loudly to the richest man, and that is Krishna. And that person who feels all this, all three of them, the mood of a beggar and has the begging bowl of sadhana and begs out to the rich man called Krishna with utmost sincerity, like how Rukmini is writing this letter, that person gets rescued. Rukmini is writing this letter quite astonishing. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yo me bhaktya prayachyati. Krishna says patram. Patram means a leaf, but in Sanskrit, patram also means a letter. Patra. It's quite astonishing. Quite astonishing. As if remembering Rukmini's letter. Or, in the childhood, there was a letter written by Srimati Radharani. Of course, Rukmini Devi is an expansion of Srimati Radharani ultimately. So remembering this letter of Rukmini Devi, Patram, Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. If anyone like Rukmini writes a letter to me, Aham Bhakti Uparitam, I accept it. I accept the devotion. So in the first two verses of the 7-part letter, 7-verse letter, Rukmini is just glorifying the qualities. She says, Shrutva Gunan Bhuvana Sundara Srinvatamye. It's so beautiful. Srila Sridhar Swami, in his Bhavartha Deepika commentary, he has commented that Rukmini Devi heard about Krishna from the Brahmanas, from the exalted Vaishnavas. And as she kept hearing about Krishna, Shrutva means on having heard, Shravanam, Shru Dhatu, Shrunvanti Gayanti, ityadi. So Shrutva, having heard what aspect of Krishna? Gunan. Guna means qualities, but used in the plural sense, Gunan. Shrutva Gunan. O Krishna, having heard the unlimited qualities of your personality. Which Krishna? Bhuvana Sundara. What does the word Bhuvana mean? The worlds. And Sundara means most attractive. O Krishna, Tri Jagan Manasakarshi. You can attract, you have the power to attract the three worlds. Shrutva Gunan Bhuvana Sundara Shrinvatamye. Those who hear of your qualities, what happens to them? Nirvishya Karana Vivaraihi. Karana Vivaram means the whole of the ear. And Nirvishya means Pravishya, having entered. Once the narration of your transcendental qualities enters the holes of the ear, Nirvishya Karana Vivaraihi, Harataha, it takes away. What does it take away? Anga Tapam. Anga means body. Anga can also mean heart. And Tapam means heat. So what does this mean? When we feel separation from Krishna, when someone feels separation from Krishna, that's considered to be the heat of the heart. Like Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What level of separation was that? One time Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after he returned from Gaya, he told all the devotees that tomorrow morning we will meet at the house of Shuklambar Brahmachari. And when they all met at the house of Shuklambar Brahmachari, the Vaishnavas were doubtful. Because till then they saw Nimai Pandit as a very puffed up, arrogant scholar who would go from one place to another defeating others, and he got some pleasure in discussing and debating and arguing over petty Sanskrit rules. But there was some rumor from the brothers of Srivas, Sriram Pandit, who said that, that Nimai Pandit has changed. He is no longer Nimai. He has become Bhavuk Nimai. He has become the very emotionally sentimental Nimai. He keeps crying. He doesn't argue any longer. He goes from one place to another, offers obeisances to Vaishnavas, and secretly collects their loads and loads of laundry and washes it in the Ganga, dries it up, folds it, and puts it back into their shelf without their knowing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has found this supremely powerful limb of Vaishnav Seva. This was the rumor that was spreading. But this was too difficult for the Vaishnavas in Navadvip to believe, because they had a specific experience of Nimai. So now when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu walked into the house of Shuklambar Brahmachari, the Vaishnavas were all looking at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And just looking at the tilak and the kantimala and the Vaishnav faces and the Vaishnav attire of everyone, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started offering obeisances, and he started weeping, and he started saying, my life has become a waste. I have wasted my life discussing logic and reasoning and petty rules of Sanskrit grammar. All of you are so fortunate. You used your life so effectively. I am the one who's most fallen. And the Vaishnavas looked at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mood, and they all went, Haribol! And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just heard this Harinam. That's it. That was the flame needed for the forest fire explosion in Mahaprabhu's heart. He continued to dance. He started to call out to Krishna with torrents of rain shower like tears from his eyes, wetting his cheeks, wetting his throat. He started spinning and dancing as Gaura Nataraj. It was almost like a cartwheel on fire, a golden cartwheel. He was jumping, he was crying, he was laughing, he was rolling, he was singing, he was dancing. The Vaishnavas were amazed. It was like a Triveni Sangam. It was like the meeting of three rivers. The beauty of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the beauty of his dancing, and the beauty of his ecstatic symptoms. They had never seen anyone like this before. And at that point, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started singing. And in the next moment, he just collapsed. He fell to the ground unconscious, remembering Krishna. And then the Vaishnavas started chanting the name of Krishna to revive him. And when he woke up from his samadhi, Mahaprabhu started asking, where is my Gadadhar? Where is my Gadadhar? I don't see Gadadhar. Now we must understand, Gadadhar is Radharani and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. The affection that Radha and Krishna have for each other manifested in this world as the affection of Gaur and Gadadhar. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started asking, where is my Gadadhar? They said, Gadadhar is in the next room. And Mahaprabhu, from behind the pillar, he looked at Gadadhar Pandit. And Gadadhar Pandit was crying and weeping in ecstatic disbelief. Our Nimai Pandit has become a devotee. The prayers of Srivas Thakur, the prayers of Advaita Acharya, all my prayers have fructified. The Lord is so kind and merciful. If he has become a devotee, now all his students will become devotees. All his competitors will become devotees. All the Sanskrit teachers will become devotees. In short, the whole of Navadvip will become a devotee. What level of separation Mahaprabhu had in his heart? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu held the hand of Gadadhar Pandit and he said, Oh Gadadhar, I want to tell you something from my heart. Gadadhar said, Hey Gauranga, hey Nimai Vishwambhar, it is the perfection of my eyes to see you cry and weep for Krishna like this. Please continue to speak. And Nimai Vishwambhar said, I passed through Kanai Natashala and I want to tell you, oh Gadadhar Pandit, I had darshan of Krishna. But very quickly he disappeared. Oh Gadadhar, I have wasted my life. You are so fortunate. Right from childhood you chanted Hare Krishna. Gadadhar, many times I remember I used to block your path and ask you petty grammatical rules. And just to avoid and save your time, you would deflect and take a different path. Gadadhar, I have only one question. Holding the hand of Gadadhar Pandit, Mahaprabhu asked, can you please tell me how I can get my Krishna back? I had darshan of Krishna only once. How can I get him back? Gadadhar Pandit said, don't worry, Nimai Vishwambhar, Krishna will come very soon. Have patience. Another day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started weeping so loudly and told Gadadhar Pandit, please tell me where is my Shyamasundar. I can't hold my life air anymore. I will die. Tell me where is my Krishna. Gadadhar Pandit said, why do you worry? He's in your heart. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the mood of Hanuman. What happened in the Ramayana? Atulita baladhamam hema shailabadeham dhanuja vana krishanum jnaninam agraganyam sakala guna nidhanam vanaranam adhisham raghupati priya bhaktam vatajatam namami. Sita Devi offers her priceless pearl necklace to Hanuman. And Hanuman immediately looks at the pearl necklace and he thinks, what kind of remuneration is this? I am your servant. I am not a daily wage worker that I finish my work and you give me my paycheck. Just like how Prahlad Maharaj told Nrsingadev, I'm not a businessman. I'm not a vanik. My Lord, please don't say that I have served you so you have to give me something in return. No, I am your servant. I am not a daily wage employee for you. So Hanuman immediately removed it and he said, oh Sita Maya, what are you doing? You're making me someone different than what I am. I belong to you. Don't give me a remuneration. Don't pay me like this. She said, no, it's out of affection. He immediately started biting all the pearls. All the ministers got up, disgusted. What is this monkey doing? What are you doing, Hanumanji? Hanuman said, I just want to check if there's Ram inside. What is the use of these pearls if the name of Ram is not there within them? So I'm just biting to see if the name of Ram exists in these pearls. So the minister said, oh, as if that's your standard, then you're holding this body together and I don't see the name of Ram in this body. Hanuman said, you can check every pore of my body. If you don't find the name of Ram, I'll burn this body alive. He said, yeah, okay, maybe the body, but maybe not the heart. Hanuman pulled in his nails and scratched through his chest and gave darshan of Sita and Ram in his heart to the whole world for all times to come. When Gadadhar Pandit told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that Shama Sundar is in your heart, Mahaprabhu with his transcendental nails, the same nails that he used to rip the chest of Hiranyakashipu, now he's using those same nails to rip his own chest. In Kali Yuga, everything is going topsy-turvy. The greatest enjoyer, Shama Sundar, has become the greatest sannyasi, Gaura Sundar. The dark-complexioned flute player has become the golden-complexioned devotee running behind the flute. The female transcendental Prakriti, Srimati Radharani, has become the male Nimai Vishwambhar. The dark-complexioned Yamuna has become the fair-complexioned Ganga. The 12 forests of Vrindavan have become the 9 islands of Navadvip. In Kali Yuga, everything has gone topsy-turvy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as Nrsinga used his nails on Hiranyakashipu, but now he's using those same nails to find Krishna in his own heart. And he's ripping his chest. Gadadhar Pandit held the fingers, nails of Mahaprabhu and said, what are you doing? He said, no, I'm trying to find my Shama Sundar. Gadadhar said, please have some patience. He will come soon. Utsahad nishchayat dhairyat. Have some dhairya, have some patience. Probably from that conversation, Rup Goswami heard it and then gave it to us. Maybe. Shachi Mata from behind the pillar at a distance saw how Gadadhar Pandit was pacifying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu so expertly. Now Shachi Mata, as Mother Yashoda in Dwapar Yuga, had envisioned Radharani as the perfect daughter-in-law for her Shama Sundar, her Nanda Dulal, Krishna. And that same Mother Yashoda's instinct, spirit came in the chest, in the heart of Shachi Mata. And Radharani appeared as Gadadhar Pandit and was pacifying Krishna as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Shachi Mata as Yashoda Rani is looking at her Damodar, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, being pacified by Radha, Gadadhar. And she held the hand of Gadadhar and put it in the hand of Gauranga as Kanyadan. As Kanyadan. Just like how Radharani did as Mother Yashoda held the hands of Srimati Radharani and dipped it in turmeric, the very famous pastime of Priya Kund or Pili Pokar. In that same mood, Shachi Mata looked at Gadadhar Pandit and held his hand into the palms of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and said, please never leave my child. When he is in the pangs of separation, only you can pacify him. And I don't know how long I will be alive. You please promise me, all your life, you will be close to my child and take care of him, because I am amazed by your power to pacify him according to his mood of separation. Only to keep this word, promise given to Shachi Mata, Gadadhar Pandit all his life lived with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this was the mood of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur when he wrote, Smara Gaura Gadadhara Keli Kalam, Bhava Gaura Gadadhara Pakshacharam, Shrunu Gaura Gadadhara Charu Katha, Bhaja Godruma Kanana Kunja Vidum. Remember the pastimes of Radha Krishna in Kali Yuga as Gaur and Gadadhar, and become their associate and hear of their qualities, and in this way worship Mahaprabhu. What level of separation? If this is the mood of separation that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is feeling, imagine all of those associates of Mahaprabhu and all the different devotees who are following in that footsteps, including Rukmini Devi. What level of separation from Krishna? She's about to get married very soon. Just a quick trivia question. She was supposed to get married to whom? Thank you. Thank you. So she was about to get married to Shishupal. And she doesn't want to get married to Shishupal. And she writes this beautiful letter to Krishna. Please come and kidnap me, my Lord. I want to marry you. I have given my heart to all of your transcendental qualities. Oh Krishna, after hearing about you, just like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard from Ishvara Puripad, he heard the Gopal mantra and the Hare Krishna Mahamantra into the ear from Ishvara Puri. And what happened? Mahaprabhu's fire of separation increased. He started chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then transcendental ecstatic madness. Mahaprabhu went and told Ishvara Puripad, what is happening to me? I am chanting this Mahamantra and day and night I feel like crying and weeping and calling out to Krishna. What's going on? Ishvara Puripad looked to the right and to the left and called Mahaprabhu close and said, very good. Krishna Nama Mahamantra Adbhuta Prabhav, Jai Krishna Bhaje Tar Upajaye Bhav. This is the power of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, O Nimai Vishwambhar, Ishvara Puri said. You are very fortunate. Not everybody who chants feels this. But you are feeling, you are fortunate. And to have you as my disciple, I am fortunate. By hearing through the ear, Rukmini Devi said, Angatapam. By hearing about Krishna, the heart will start to burn. If that is not happening in our life, we are far away from our goal. We must feel helpless. Kabe habe bolo say din amar. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur cannot live. He's asking, when will that day be mine when I can't survive but run to Vrindavan? This level of ecstatic madness. Narottam Das Thakur has said in Prem Bhakti Chandrika, Jala binu jano mean, dukha paye ayuhin. That when a Vaishnava hears about Krishna and chants his holy name, his life becomes like a fish out of water. But the point is, most of us don't want that situation. We are like fish out of water, crying materially. But we are not ready to cry for Krishna. One time in Boston, Srila Prabhupada had come. I heard this story while I was in Boston. When Srila Prabhupada came to Boston, His Holiness Satswarup Maharaj and one more Vaishnava and one Vaishnavi, three of them, they used to have this radio broadcast in Boston, where the program was, they used to read the Krishna book, and all the Bostonians would hear it on the radio. It was open to everyone in 1971 or 72 perhaps. they would read the Krishna book, Prabhupada's Krishna book on the radio in a dramatic presentation. So one day, they were showing Prabhupada one of those recordings. And Prabhupada was hearing, and that happened to be the recording of subduing of Kaliya. And Satswarup Maharaj was reading the narration. And there was the Mataji who was alongside, she was playing the role of Mother Yashoda. So Krishna is trapped in the coils of Kaliya, and Brajbasis are all feeling pangs of separation. And there is Mother Yashoda, who gets to know her son is caught between the coils of this poisonous snake, Kaliya. And Mother Yashoda is going frantic. She's crying and weeping and rolling on the dust. I want my son back. She had become completely mad in separation from her son. And this Mataji was playing that part so well. Prabhupada was hearing this. He said, I want to meet this Mataji. Call her right now. So the devotee went and called the Mataji, and the Mataji got scared because they told her that Prabhupada's hearing your recording. And at the end of the recording, he wants to see you. And she was already in tears, apologizing for all the mistakes she may have committed. So she came in. She said, Prabhupada, please forgive me. And Prabhupada said, I was hearing the recording. And you were narrating the part of Mother Yashoda. She said, that's correct, Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, what a wonderful narration. How wonderfully you were depicting Mother Yashoda's pangs of separation. Prabhupada looked at her and said, my desire is lifelong cry for Krishna like this. That is the success of your life. Rukmini is saying, by hearing of your qualities, O Krishna, material distress, angatapam will leave, and spiritual transcendental pangs of separation will rise in the heart. Qualities of Krishna are so transcendental. Who can be like Krishna? Think of what a wonderful student Krishna was. Krishna is Jagat Guru. He doesn't need any teacher. But Krishna still surrenders to Sandipani Muni. And in 64 days, he learns 64 transcendental arts. Now for us, in 64 days, even to learn one art is tough. Imagine, in 64 days, if you have to learn just the art of singing, Indian classical singing, it's so difficult, right? There was a very great Indian classical singer who had a Bharat Ratna from the highest civilian award in India. And when he was asked, how easy is it to learn Indian classical music? He said, you have to practice for 7 lifetimes. You have to practice for 7 lifetimes, get the mercy of Saraswati Devi, and then we will be able to say, Sa. This was his. I don't know how far scripturally that's true, but the point that I'm trying to make is that it's not easy. Any art for that matter, especially traditional arts. Krishna in 64 days, he mastered 64 arts. During the daytime, he took lessons. And during nighttime, he practiced. Imagine, students in the present generation, they sleep during the classes. What to speak of attend school during the day and sleep at night? They sleep during the class, during the day. And Krishna, he attended class during the day, he learnt it, and at night he practiced. And in 64 days, he mastered 64 transcendental arts. And the friend that he had, Arjun, he's also like that. Therefore, he was called Gudakesh. He learned during the day and practiced at night. And it's quite interesting. What we do over lifetimes, that samskar follows in the next birth. So what Krishna did in his, of course, Krishna doesn't take many births. But the point we're trying to say, what Krishna did in Krishna Leela, in Dwapar Yuga, you can see it spilled over even in Kali Yuga, in Gaura Leela. How? Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to feel Radharani's devotion. So who was his teacher? Gadadhar Pandit. You can learn from Radharani, you can learn about Radharani best only from Radharani. But Radharani in Krishna Leela is so humble that she feels she has no devotion. So she can't teach. But she comes as Gadadhar Pandit and Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Gadadhar Pandit and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu discuss Bhagavatam about Radharani's love for Krishna. So Gadadhar Pandit, although being Radharani, in Kali Yuga as Gadadhar Pandit is able to describe Radharani's love, which Radharani cannot describe herself, being herself in Krishna Leela. Does that make sense? प्रेमेर स्वभाव जहां प्रेमेर संबंध से माने कृष्ण मोर नाही प्रेम गंध. Chaitanya Charitamrita describes where there's actual presence of ecstatic love, the person feels, I don't even have the scent of prem. So look at this amazing connection that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is drawing from Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit is Radharani. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna. Krishna wants to know from Radharani the sweetness of her love, but she in Krishna Leela will never be able to describe because she doesn't feel that she has love out of humility. But when Radharani comes as Gadadhar Pandit and Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, now Gadadhar Pandit can describe Radharani's love for Krishna to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and everything makes perfect sense. Now, during the daytime, like Krishna Leela, Krishna took lessons during the day and practiced at night. In Gaura Leela, Krishna took lessons during the day from Gadadhar Pandit at Tota Gopinath. 3-4 hours at Yameshwar Tot, at Tota Gopinath, Mahaprabhu would sit and hear Srimad Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit. So that's like the student learning from the teacher during the daytime. But nighttime is for practice. So nighttime, Mahaprabhu is holding the hand of Swarup Damodar and Ramananda Rai in the closed quarters of Kashi Mishra Bhavan, Gambhira. And there, whatever he has learned during the day, at night time, Mahaprabhu is experiencing the moods of Radharani and crying and weeping and calling out to Krishna. So what he learns during the day, he practices at night. Dine Hari Kirtan Ara Ishwara Darshan, Ratri Rai Swarup Sane Leela Aswadan. Chaitanya Charitamrita says, during the daytime, Mahaprabhu heard Srimad Bhagavatam, had darshan of Jagannath and chanted the holy name. But at night time, he spent the whole night crying and weeping. So where did Mahaprabhu get this from? Oh, in Krishna Leela, he used to learn during the day and practice during the night. So that same schedule was true even in Gaura Leela. Such a great student Krishna is. For his teacher, he was ready to go and collect some firewood deep into the forest along with his friend Sudama. And amidst great torrential monsoon rains, he continued to stick there all night. And Srimad Bhagavatam, such a beautiful verse, I would like to remember this verse. It is described. Please everyone chant. Aho he putraka yuyam asmad arthe ati dukkhitaha. All night Krishna was shivering and teeth were chattering as he was sitting on that top of the tree collecting some firewood. But it was raining, so he couldn't return home. He wanted to collect some firewood for the yajna for his guru. But because it was raining and in the middle of the forest, he couldn't return that night. Next morning, his teacher became so concerned. He went straight into the forest. Srimad Bhagavatam describes, he looked at Krishna and said, Aho he putraka yuyam, oh dear Krishna, asmad arthe ati dukkhita. Just for me, you went through so much hardship. Therefore, I bless you, O Krishna. It's almost like I bless you. Whatever you speak in life will all be true. As if this one night of hardship empowered him to speak the Bhagavad Gita. He is Krishna Mande Jagat Gurum, but so humble. Whether it's Rama Avatar, taking shelter of Vashishta Vishwamitra, Krishna Avatar, taking shelter of Bhagori Rishi and Sandipani Muni, Gaura Avatar, taking shelter of Ishwara Puri and Keshav Bharati Maharaj. What great qualities the Lord has. And at the same time, when he becomes the teacher, unparalleled. Think what kind of teacher he is. He could switch his roles like this. He started off as the chariot driver for Arjun in the Gita. And when Arjun wants him to take the chariot between the two armies, he's happily doing it. But when Arjun says the Gandhi was slipping from my hand, what do I do? Krishna didn't say, hey, what are you doing? We are on the war front. Come on, just pick up your Gandhi and start shooting. This is not the time for, any dramatical performance. Come on. Krishna didn't speak like that. If Arjun wants me to be his chariot driver, so be it. But if Arjun wants to take the role of a student and me as the teacher, so be it. And Krishna starts speaking. And how astonishing. There's no beforehand practice. Krishna didn't bring in an iPad or he didn't bring in some notes. They didn't have a rehearsal. Arjuna, you asked this question, okay? And I'm going to give this answer. Nothing. And he goes through 18 sessions of counseling. Arjun, 18 chapters of Gita. Imagine you counsel someone for 18 sessions. Over 574 verses that you speak. And after that, the person does what he wants to do. We'll go nuts. But look at Krishna. After all of this, he says, hey Arjun, yathechasi tatha kuru. Now you do what you like. I don't bind you in any formal bond of commitment. You do as you like. And what amazing intellect. Arjuna is asking him how to fight the war on the battlefield. And Krishna not just teaches him how to fight the battle on the war front, he teaches through Arjuna the whole world how to fight the war of life. Arjuna's questions are those questions that we may have, but we are shy to ask. And Krishna's answers are those answers that Paramatma wants to tell us, but we can't hear. That's the Gita. Imagine two casual friends having a talk in this world. Do you think Sripad Adi Shankaracharya would be interested in having the transcript of that conversation? But this talk that Krishna has as a teacher to Arjuna as a student, Bhagwan Sri Adi Shankaracharya, Sripad Madhvacharya, Sripad Ramanujacharya, Sripad Vallabhacharya, everyone comments, reads, absorbs, comments. And not just them, even the modern day motivational speakers and management gurus use that book to sell their book. Whether it's politicians like Gandhi or whether it's scientists like Einstein and whether it's prominent members like Emerson and Henry Thoreau or Oppenheimer or just management gurus of the present generation, everyone bases it on the management sutras from the Gita. That's how intelligent Krishna is. And we aren't even touching his intelligence. We're just talking about one instance. Krishna didn't fumble even once on any of the questions. And he spoke in unadulterated Sanskrit poetry. Anushtup Chanda was not broken even once. Krishna didn't speak in prose, he spoke in poetry. How beautiful. This same Krishna, when he appeared, he was telling his parents their 3 lives of the past. Imagine a child of this world, he appears and if he doesn't cry, then he's taken upside down and the doctors give a little pat, right? And then the child starts to cry and then parents are very happy. But here is Krishna. He appears in the prison house to Devaki and Vasudeva and starts speaking of their past 3 lives. You know, you were Prishni and Sutapa and I was Prishni Garbha. You were Aditi and you had me as Vaman, and now you're Devaki and Vasudeva, and just pleased by your austerity, I have made my advent. What kind of intelligence is this? In 64 days, you learn 64 art forms. A casual conversation is immortalized as the Gita. And just your appearance, after appearance, you're advising your father where to take you. Isn't it astonishing? The child comes just out of the hospital and tells the father, you cross the Yamuna and take me home. How intelligent. And then Krishna says, Vedaham samatitani vartamanani cha Arjuna. Hey Arjun, I know past, present and future of everything. Abhijñah swarat. I understand everything from all angles of vision. Rukmini is remembering these qualities. Hey Krishna, how intelligent are you? How beautiful are you? How effulgent are you? How wealthy are you? How famous are you? Seeing all of the spectrum of your colorful qualities, I am insignificant. I will never get you. But I am writing this letter as a shameless person who is desperate to attain your lotus feet. Dear devotees, I want to conclude today's session with a little verse. Please everyone chant. Asita giri samam syat Kajjalam sindhu patre Surataruvara shakha Lekhani patramurvi Likhati yadi grihitva Sharada sarvakalam Tadapi tava gunana Krishna param nayati. What does this verse mean? So beautiful. Asita giri samam syat. Let's imagine there's a big, humongous, gigantic, black complexioned mountain. What did we just say? Let's imagine there's a gigantically humongous, black complexioned mountain. That's your ink. Okay? That's how much ink you have. But then you need an ink pot, an ink bottle to store all this. Sindhu patre. The ocean is that ink pot. So imagine you have a mountain-like ink, which can be stored in ocean-like ink pot, which means, in short, you have lots of ink. But now you need expert first-class pen. Suravara tarushakha lekhani. Which means, let's make the pen out of the best branch of the kalpavriksha trees of heaven. Very poetic. How much ink do we have? As much as the mountain. What's the comparison for the ink pot? The ocean. As tall as the mountain, that's how much ink we have. As deep as the ocean, that's how wide the ink pot is. And the pen is made out of the best branch of the wish-fulfilling desire trees of heaven. Which means the pen is also first class. So you have the best pen, you have unlimited supply of ink. But now you need paper. Lekhani patram urvi. Urvi means the surface of Mother Earth. Let the surface of Mother Earth be your paper. Okay, so how much paper do we have? So we have lots of ink, we have a nice ink pot, we have the best pen, and we have the surface of earth as paper. Now you need the best person to write. Likhati yadi grihitva Sharada. Sharada means if Saraswati is given that opportunity. But she should also be given time. Likhati yadi grihitva Sharada sarvakalam. Eternal time given to Mother Saraswati with the best pen and the earth surface like paper and lots of ink. Still, oh dear Krishna, tadapi tava gunanam Krishna param nayati. Oh Krishna, still no one can write, including Saraswati, the unlimited extent of your transcendental qualities. Gaurav Premanande.